What's happening? What's happening? What's happening, people? How we doing? How we doing? How are we doing? I hope everybody had a good weekend. It is a Monday. It is a Monday all day. I am happy to announce, because I finally had time actually to sit down and try to get this thing figured out, but I am happy to announce, and I will be putting my YouTube channel up. I am on YouTube now. This is going live to YouTube, so I'm happy about that. I'm moving slowly but surely, but I'm getting there. By the time I actually do get where I kind of want to get, I'm sure there's going to be other forms of communication and video and everything out there. But I made it to YouTube. I made it to YouTube. Check me out, right? But I made it to YouTube. I was like, holy smoke. I didn't want to say anything because I wanted to make sure I got it right. But my Dexter Taylor. So if you know who Dexter Taylor is, you know Dexter usually calls in and we get him on air on Sundays. So the Dexter Taylor video is out there also. But I am on YouTube. So you can go to YouTube, and I think you type it in. I haven't figured that part out yet, but I will. But you can go in and you can type in, let's rip it up. You can type in my name. I think that works. A few other things. So, but I am on YouTube. So anyway, hey, how's it going, fam? How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? So I jumped on here tonight. It's 7:00. Usually I try to hit at 8. But Don Allen is supposed to be on tonight. He's finally going to come back. And so he's going to be on at 8 o'clock tonight. So I definitely want to catch his show because he hadn't been on for a while. You know Don Allen. I have him on here every once in a while. We be, kind of chopping it up a little bit. But he'll be back with his Black News on tonight. So I wanted to catch that. So I want to jump on here before he gets on. And listen to his show, support his show, and things of that sort. But again, people, how are you doing? I hope everybody had a wonderful, awesome weekend. Things are going pretty good. We don't have as much snow as usually we were supposed to have, so I'm all good on that. I'm not. I've been here for 30 plus years, and I'm still not a snow person. Especially now that I can't snowboard with my boys anymore. I can't go out and snowboard, so that kind of killed my enjoying the snow. Other than tubing, take my grandkids out, let them go down a hill and tube for a little bit. But anyway, hey, so look. A question for y'all, real quick. Are we done with Kanye West yet? I mean, is that something we should have just left in 24? No, seriously. What did I do with my water? Shoot. Anyway, came down here all excited to announce that I was on YouTube. I forgot my water. But no, seriously. Can we be done with this dude? I mean, what he pulled at the Grammys or whatever award show that was, that's pathetic. So are we done with him yet? Just say yes, just to appease me, just to make me happy. Say yes, we don't have to deal with this dude anymore, because it's getting to the point now where it's just pathetic. I mean that was pathetic. If y'all didn't see that, if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, it should be on YouTube. Pull it up. So I'm just wondering if we can just leave that one back in 2024 and not even have to deal with that situation anymore. Just like I said, thank you, Kelly. Kelly said yes. I mean, at some point in time, look. they can say what they want. The guy's a musical genius. He's all this and that's cool. But what he just did and what them two just did, that's come on, man. Come on, people. Come on. You cannot. You can't make me understand that. You can't even make that understandable. You really can't. So at some point in time, we've got to get to the point where we're saying enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough. We can't take it anymore. Seriously. It's like, let's be done with him. See ya. Peace. Thank you very much for your music. Thank you very much for whatever else you done. But we're good. No, seriously, we're good. We don't really need you anymore. We don't. Thank you, but we don't. So let's be done with that situation. Thank you. I so appreciate you. So appreciate you. It's almost, like I said, there's a few other things I need you guys to make it make sense to me. So, I go down to Lake Street in Bloomington, and I'm standing around, and I got a message for black people on this one too. Okay, so I'm down there on Lake Street in Bloomington, right, and I'm standing there and I'm watching these people march, and that's when it really, really hit me. Well, it kind of really hit me when I came home and I watched some of the protests from like Texas and some of the protests from California. But then when I was down on Lake Street in Bloomington and I'm watching this protest go down, I'm sitting there saying to myself, okay, make this one make sense to me, somebody, right? And I put it out on Twitter. But I'm saying to myself, you're going to jump the fence illegally. You're going to come to the United States illegally. You're going to live here and do all the things you do illegally. And then when you protest, you're going to fly the flag of the place that you ran from. You don't want to be there, but you're going to protest the United States by flying the flag of the place that you did. Make it make sense to me, please, people. Because I didn't get that. I didn't understand what I'm going. Where are all these? I don't see not one United States flag. I don't see you flying that flag saying, I'm proud to be here. I want to be a part of what's going on here. I want to be a taxpayer. I don't see you flying the flag like that. But I look up and that flag that you're flying is from the very place that you say you can't live there anymore because it's so filthy, it's so bad. But you're flying that flag during your protests. Now, hold on. Y'all, if y'all know me, you know my past, and you know I'm always good. I put on some good protests. I don't never knock anybody for protesting. That's not what this is about. So don't be sitting there going, "Oh, he's talking about the immigrants and they're protesting." That's not. No, I'm not. They want to protest? Fine. I don't know why ICE isn't smart enough to be at the end of those protests, but I'm not saying anything. But if they want to protest, fine. But just make me understand why you're protesting and you're flying the flag that the place that you ran from, the place that you hate, the place that you say is a third world country, a place that you say you can't stay there and fix it up. You got to come here. And that's the flag you want to fly? I'm not understanding that, and it's not making sense to me. Maybe I'm lost in the sauce. But it doesn't make sense to me. I just would think that you would want to fly the flag of the place that you want to represent from now on. the place that you want to come here and be a part of. That's just me. If I was protesting, that's what we'd be walking around with. And a bullhorn. And a bullhorn. Calling people meatball heads. I'm just saying, that's just me. I would have the American flag. I wouldn't be flying a flag of a country that I could not stay in, a country that I hate so much that I'm going to risk my whole life. I'm going to risk my life to get to another. But then when I walk the streets, I'm going to fly. Okay. I don't understand it, so I guess I have to figure that one out on my own. Nobody can make me understand that. Nobody can make me understand that. That's cool. That's cool. Anyway, I went to my favorite place today, and I've got to put a shout out. I went to my Costco. Yeah, had to go to Costco today. But I have to give a shout out to Al Sharpton. I was able to go into Costco today and not even show my little ID get up. Lady didn't even ask me for it. Just let me walk through. So I believe Al Sharpton made it to where black people didn't have to show their ID as we walk into Costco ever again anymore. So have to thank Al for that, making sure that we didn't have to show our ID. Now, Al, if you can come to Minneapolis where black people are shooting each other, if you can come to Minneapolis and we march down the street, I'll appreciate you even more. Thank you for the Costco thing. Don't get me wrong. Appreciate that. I saw you when you marched up in Costco. You did your protest. Like I said, I'm all for protesting. Don't ever get me wrong. Cause if my legs, if my knees was still as good as they was, I would be looking for someplace to protest something. I don't care what it is. I love protesting. I do. Because it pisses people off. It does. Trust me. Trust me when I say that. But I need some people pissed off, Al Sharpton, that just a couple days ago, well, every weekend we got somebody getting shot. Black person is shooting another black person. So if you see this, Al, if you can come down to Minneapolis and we can walk up and down Broadway in a show of unity that you care that black folks are getting shot and black folks are shooting each other. Again, you did good at Costco. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. I didn't have to show my ID. You did your protest there and you made sure that happened. I had already paid my membership. So with that free membership that you got, everybody, I wasn't able to be a part of that. So if you want to protest and come down and help, see if we can't get some of this killing, I'll definitely appreciate that. Speaking of protests, anytime I'm wrong, anytime somebody explains something to me and I'm wrong, trust me when I say I have no problem in saying that I was wrong in something. I have no problem in correcting what I did not understand. So I was talking about the black people who were protesting Target, right? So everybody, they over here protesting Target, putting down Target, hating on Target and all this here type of stuff. And we're not out protesting to actually keep drugstores open, like Walgreens. We had to close Walgreens in North Minneapolis because people was going in stealing out of Walgreens to the point that Walgreens had to close, right? Aldi's had to close because people were stealing and they was losing so much business from the theft they ended up closing. So I was upset because we didn't get together and protest that and say we need to do something different to make sure these people, these thugs, are not going in here and stealing out of places that the elderly really, really need. So when this Target thing came about, and I'm sitting here going DEI, because I'm not, look. I told y'all a long time ago when it came to all of this diversity type crap that none of it is really helping black people. And we come to find out. That's one thing I got to give it to Trump. That's one thing Trump has done. He has opened the door to show us exactly what DEI is about. It helps white women more than it helps anybody. But they got you convinced that DEI is about black people. But it actually helps white people. So these white women, they should be upset. Them taking this diversity thing and throwing it through the cloth, throwing it out the door. They're not going to be, first in line anymore. They should be, that's who should be upset. That's who should be protesting. That's who should be out here screaming and yelling. But Target decided to do away with their DEI program or whatever you want to call it. Black people's getting upset. I'm sitting here going, I don't know what you're upset for. It's not like DEI is actually doing something for you other than the Republicans using it to scare white people. Come on. Y'all know exactly what. Just like CRT and all that other type of crap they threw on y'all, and y'all believed it because it has something to do with black people. Period, point blank. We can sit there and act like if you want to. Really? So I got down on the black community because they was down there at the ones who that led black people into the streets for Black Lives Matter, led black people to Target to protest Target. And I'm sitting here going, y'all let the same fools trick you again. They tricked you with the Black Lives Matter crap, and now they're tricking you with the Target thing. That's what got me about the whole thing. Didn't you not learn your lesson during Black Lives Matter when they had you in the streets and when they had you marching and doing this and doing that? And then when the cops come and everybody get in trouble, they find a way out of trouble and they didn't have to pay. But you paid for doing what they told you. I'm just saying. But you fell for the same okie doke again. That's the part that was getting me about this Target thing. So I said a few things, and I got a couple text messages, and I got a couple DMs going, Rev, you're wrong on this. And I'm like, what do you mean I'm wrong? So you're wrong because you're not looking at the big picture. I'm sitting here going, then explain to me. And that's what I said. I said, explain to me what the big picture is. Well, apparently, which I didn't know, I said, I'm here to learn also. I don't know everything. I don't know everything. So if someone when someone gives me information and able to feed me information that I don't know, I thank them. I seriously do, and that's what I always say. You know what? If y'all tell me things that's going to feed me information and things that I don't know, that helps me. It honestly does, because that's why I always tell people. When people get on my page and they just start slandering me, throwing me under the bus, calling me names and things of that sort, that doesn't help me. Now, if you say, Rev, you're wrong, and there's the reason why you're wrong, and you explain to me why I'm wrong, then I may, really, really have a conversation with you, because now you're showing me something that I did not know. Versus getting on here calling me names and telling me I'm this and I'm that. Because it's always funny how a Republican will tell me I'm a Democrat, and a Democrat will tell me I'm a Republican. No, seriously, that's usually how it works. But are you still going on with Don? No, I was just watching Don tonight, Chaz. Don didn't ask me to come on. It's his first show, and I don't think he want to mess it up. It's his first show back, so I don't think he want me on there right now. And you gotta wait till you get on for a little bit. But you know how I work when I get on there. I get kind of loud, so I'm gonna have. That's why I'm on at 7. That's why I'm on at 7, so I can watch his show at 8. But anyway, the Target thing, my understanding is now Target is literally taking black entrepreneurship out of their stores. They're not giving black people spaces anymore. So that's what they said. Well, Rev, you don't realize that. You don't realize that black people actually had spaces. And I don't shop at Target. My wife and I, we were sitting there going, when is the last time we actually been to Target? When my 11-year-old son, Aiden, my 11-year-old grandson, when he was about 2 years old, and we were coming from Blaine, and we stopped at the Target there in Coon Rapids. When he was 2, was the last time that I've been in a Target. I'm a Walmart guy. We go to Walmart. We get our groceries from Walmart. We go get things for the grandkids. We get it from Walmart. That's what we do. We just Walmart people. Just Walmart people. I don't go to Target. Target is kind of bougie to me. I'm a country boy. See, I got to go in a country filled type of store, right? I got to go in there. Yeah, and it's cheaper too. Thanks, Chad. And it's cheaper. And I'm boy, you talking about somebody to save money. Because you never know when a rainy day going to come, right? I go to Target when I can go to Walmart and I can get the same bushel of bushel. I can get the same, bananas for $3 at Walmart, and you go to Target is, $4. I've saved a couple of dollars. So I wouldn't know what Target, I wouldn't know what Target has in it. So they was telling me today that, no, Rev, you're wrong, because what Target did was give spaces for black entrepreneurs, right? Black people who have their business. Now, hold on. Now, one of the things that I had to explain to a couple of people during the Derek Chauvin riots, and a lot of the businesses that was burnt, like we said, the black people own the stuff in the building. White people own we don't own buildings. We don't own buildings in our community. They have some black company spaces after. Yeah. I didn't know that. Chaz. I had zero clue that black people had space in Target, and they were selling their products out of Target. Zero clue until today. I learned that today. So I have to push back on myself on saying the things that I said about Target and protesting Target, and black people shouldn't be protesting at Target. I have to push back on that and say, if that's what Target did, if that's what this is all about, and Donald Trump has made it to where black people can't make a living, I got a problem with that. I got a problem. And if that's what Trump feels that his agenda should be, is to push black in the back to the back of the bus, like where they feel we should be, then we're going down the wrong road. We're not going back to 1950, 1940, 1930. See, I am a segregationist. I was born during segregation. When my mom and dad brought me home from the hospital, if they wanted to stop by a gas station, it was white-on gas station, they could not drink out of the water fountain, and they could not use the white bathroom. They couldn't do that in Memphis, Tennessee, on our way home. When I was born, on Wednesdays was the only time black people could go to the zoo. No, black people couldn't go to the zoo any other time but on Wednesdays. See, we can't go back there. And if that's what pushing black people out of Target, if that's the mindset that we have, then we've got a problem. So then I would have to fight for DEI in a sense of saying the diversity that they're bringing into Target. What's wrong? Show me what's wrong with that. Show me and tell me why that's wrong to have diversity in Target, to have black-owned products being sold out of product. Target opened the door for because again, we don't even own the little stores that's in our communities, and it sit there and go, what? Let me break it down to you for those who don't know. That's why I like people asking questions. And if you ever get a chance to go over there, you will see the exact place where I'm about to talk about. Lowry runs this way and Lindale runs this way. Right there on the corner, there is a corner store with an apartment building on top of it. That store, I tried to buy that. I tried to get enough people together so we can buy that store in the black community. Because right now it's owned by, I think it's some Arabs or some, those people. They would not give us money to buy that, black people money to buy that store in a black community. That store tried to buy it. Would not do it. Would not do it. There is no buildings in North Minneapolis that black people own in the black community. They just will not give black people money. They just won't do it. I look. I can tell you first. I can tell you that. Period, point blank. So we don't own the buildings. So we have to go and look for places to put products, these entrepreneurs, to put products, these small business owners. So if they're telling me now that Target has basically booted everybody out, has taken their product and put it on a back shelf somewhere so it won't be found. If that's what you're telling me is going on with this DEI initiative stuff, protest all you want. I want to see them in the front of the building. I want to see them in the back of the building. And if you want to get on top of the building, I'll bring the ladder. And I will make sure we got a bullhorn. If that's what this is, if that's what you're telling me, if I'm understanding this whole thing right, what? Come on, I don't care how much you dislike black people or you don't want black people to thrive. I don't care how much you know that's wrong. You know it's wrong. You know it. And it shouldn't be happening and it shouldn't be going on. And I know everybody's pissed off and everybody's upset, right? Because of, the way America, especially here in Minnesota, right? I'm not going to talk about America right now. I'm just gonna bring you up to speed with the knucklehead Democrats that we have here in Minnesota. What the Democrats have done here to this state is pathetic, right? And I know everybody's upset and everybody looks at it and go, well, if it wasn't for the Democrats and DEI and critical race theory and affirmative action and all this here type of stuff, and we'll have an awesome, awesome world and an awesome, awesome state. That's not true, right? That's just not true. But yeah, I know the Democrats have screwed up here in Minnesota, and they know it. They took a shellacking like none other here in Minnesota because of the things that they were doing. They didn't listen to nobody. They could care less what anybody said. They did what they wanted. They didn't do what the people of Minnesota asked them to do. They did what they wanted. They tried to push this LBGP, LMNOQRS, QV, the whole alphabet at us. They came at us with that crap. They came after us with wanting to put boys boys in girls' bathrooms. They came after us with making sure that we can put some dude who decided that, oh, I'm a woman, and we put him down in the Shakopee jail with women, and he's down there screwing everybody. That type stuff. We got kids who can't even read, especially in the black community. I'm not talking about anywhere else, right? I like people always accuse me of, well, you got a wide brush, Rev. I know I do, but kids can't even read. And then black people run around talking about, well, it's the school to prison pipeline. Well, that school to prison pipeline start in your damn house. It starts in your house. But Democrats ain't tried to do anything about that. Every time you turn around, black people run around shooting each other. Democrats ain't done nothing about that. Economically, this is the worst state. Look it up. Look it up. Go to your computer. When we're done, go to your computer, and what I want you to do is type in worst state for black people. Minnesota ranks, it's number 2. No, look it up yourself. I'm not telling you something you can't look up. I'm not telling you something that you can't look up. Minnesota ranks as number 2. Wisconsin is the worst. Then it's Iowa. The worst state for black people. Worse than down south. Look, and I'm from the South. I'm from the South. But Minnesota ranks at number 2. And you would think, with everything that we go through here in Minnesota, black folks will be different. You would think that. But the only time we ever going to get up and do anything and march, and that's another thing I told them today. I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to go with your target mindset, but can we march up to a school board meeting to get these kids to read, to get them off to the streets? Can we march to the Capitol to talk to these lawmakers to make some bills that probably get some of these guns off, to really get these guns off? Can we march for that, Tuff? We'll march for that. So like I was telling today, that was part of the reason why when I saw you marching for Target, I didn't understand. I was sitting there going, we got so much in this community to march for, and y'all don't want to do it. But the minute Target does something, oh my goodness, everybody's at Target. But everything else that goes on in our community, we just overlook it. I just started learning. Seriously, I just really started learning about that black women leads in abortions. Can we march for that? Can we march to find out why and what we need to do to stop all the abortions in the black communities? I mean, if black women are leading in abortions, there's a problem somewhere. Can we march on that? I ain't never seen nobody march on that. I ain't never seen nobody sit there and say, let's cut down all these abortions in the black community. Ain't never seen that. Target do something. Oh, boy, get ready. Let's go up to Target, get in the front of the headquarters. Make some noise. Piss people off. I like to march to some of these parents' house because we know the kids. And most of these parents, the thing about it, most of these parents know their kids got guns. I like to find out and march to those parents and tell the parents, come on outside. We like to have a talk with them. Get them guns out of them kids. And I like to march on that. We got so much that we can actually be marching for. So much that we can actually talking about, let's make a difference. And then we sit up under, hold on, let me say this here because I know everybody always get mad at me when I go after the Democrats and everybody sit there and go, then I got to hear about it. Oh, well, what do the Republicans do? You have never heard me tell you to go vote for a Republican. But this is what I have said. That at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, we are not Democrats. No, black people, hold on for a second. You got to hear me out before you get upset. We are a conservative group of people. Fannie Lou Hamer, go look at her family, the thing on YouTube with Fannie Lee Hamer. She says, if you give us land and leave us alone, we can make it. Because we're a conservative group of people. We've always been conservative. If you look at the conservative values and then you compare them to us, to Redwood, Florida, to Tulsa, Oklahoma, to Louisiana, to Wilmington, North Carolina, those conservative values that was set before us by our forefathers, by our ancestors, that's who we really are. And then the Democrats came along and said, we need to take this group of people and put a fence around them and promise them everything. And then we stopped doing things, right? They moved the daddies out of the house. People sit there and go, well, problem with the black community, y'all hear it as much as I do. Problem with the black community, there's no fathers in the house. Democrats did that. Democrats realized they can take our base, which is black women, and make them dependent on the government. And that's what they did. Let's be real. I know a lot of times people get all pissed off and upset, but hey, somebody's got to say it. We are truly a conservative group of people. Give us what we need. Leave us alone and watch us prosper. Watch us go forward. Hell, the world snips off of us. We've set so many trends as not. So I was having a conversation with a young man the other day, And we was talking about K-pop. Anybody know what K-pop is? Okay. So K-pop is the Chinese, Korean, or whoever they are, somewhat, hip hop get up. Don't you know that the people who took K-pop back to China or Korea, wherever they're from, came to the United States and studied black hip hop? Look at K-pop. Look at it. Seriously. We have set so many trends. It's not even funny. If we don't do it, more than likely it's not being show me. If we don't do it, more than likely it's not being done. Look at all the TikTok. Look at all the little white girls and white boys dancing on TikTok. What are they doing? No. What are they doing? If we were to come together and start saying, we don't need the government, and we're going to do this on our own, we're going to make on our own, and we're going to buy the buildings in our community, and we're going to come together, and we're going to force them. If we got to protest, let's protest. But we're going to make them leave us alone so we can go forward. Then we don't need a target. We wouldn't need a target because we can sell everything we do. Watch this here. Show you something else. So over in St. Paul, the Somali community and the Asian community have their own mall. They have their own little malls where they sell all of their stuff. Why couldn't black people do that? The same thing here, right there in Minneapolis. The building. This is what I was saying. The building, the Kmart building, the same building that Walls had to buy so he can turn it into a morgue because all these people was gonna die. That building right there. Why can't we get together as black people and buy that building? It's big enough to have a place to where every Saturday and Sunday you come in and you set your business up, or even during the rest of the week. But you sell your product out of there. That'll be a black-owned business, a black-owned building. I mean, we can do these things. The problem is we too busy fighting each other. We're too busy hating on each other. That's our problem. Period, point blank. But all of this stuff is right here in front of us if we want to do that. And then we wouldn't need a Target. You wouldn't need to go beg Target for space. They were at the Capitol today, begging for money. Going up to the Capitol. That's what they was doing up at the Capitol. The lady who put this thing on, she's a comedian, right? And she had me, I didn't even know who she was. And I go to look at her, I go to send her a message, ask her a question on Twitter. And she had already had me blocked. This is supposed to be a black woman that's supposed to be helping and doing things in the community. That's going to block a black man who's doing things. This is what I'm telling you. This is what we do to each other. But she had me blocked. I've never talked to this woman before in my life. Never talked to her before in my life. She's on CCO. She's on black woman. She's on WCCO. And she was at the Capitol today, and they was up there begging for money. She was up there with a bunch of entrepreneurs and small business owners and all this here type of stuff. So I just thought it was funny that they were up there begging for money instead of begging for all of us to come together and make a difference. But That's what they do. That's what they do. But the Democratic Party here in Minnesota knows how bad it is. And like I said, go look it up. Look it up for yourself on the internet. Internet is going to tell you that Minnesota is the worst, racially worst place for black people. And the Democrats know that. All right? That's why, watch this here. There's a black man who is in charge, whose district is the worst district in the state of Minnesota. And that district just happened to be black people, where black people live. And you would think we would want to clean that up. Nah, we're good. We're going to leave it like this here and run around and beg for these nonprofits that does nothing, that does nothing for the community. These nonprofits get all of this here money and ain't done a damn thing. The community is still the way it is. We got all of these here so-called gun violent organization that's supposed to be fighting gun violence in the black community, and somebody gets shot every weekend. They ain't done nothing. So instead of us coming together and try to make a difference, we had 3 babies, a couple of years ago, few years back. We had 3 babies shot, all basically 1, 2, 3, one after the other. 3 of them. You don't even hear about them anymore. 3 kids under 10 years old. That's a fact. That happened right here. All under Democratic rule. And Democrats don't care. You think I could, since, and God rest her soul, she was one of the best Democrats that I have ever had the opportunity to meet and work with. I'm gonna tell you what Senator what she did. So there was a store in North Minneapolis, right, that would buy stolen phones. And the way these kids was getting these stolen, they was beating people up and taking their phone. And then they would go to this store and sell these phones to the store. She wrote legislation in a bill to get not the black people who runs the hold on, watch this now. This is what I'm talking about. The 2 black legislators in that district who runs that district wasn't the one that wrote the bill to go after that store. The white woman did. True story. True story. God rest her soul. She passed away. God rest her soul. She was one of the only Democrats that I could actually sit down and talk to. That I could call her up and say, "Can I meet you?" And actually go and sit down with her. Rest of these Democrats don't mess with me because I don't talk their language. You would think they'd be like, "Oh, we got a black reverend that we can go over here and talk to." No, because I don't talk their language. See, in order for you to deal with the Democrats or for the Democrats to come talk to you, you got to play victim. So I'm not a victim, and I carry a firearm. And I fight for the right to have a firearm. And that's a no-no in the Democratic Party. I'm not their Negro. I'm not their type of Negro because of that. And because I expect better of the Democratic Party than I do the Republican Party, because the Democratic Party is the ones that get black people votes. If black people start voting for Republicans and Republicans do what they're doing now, which they don't do nothing for black people, but if black people would start voting for Republican Party and the Republicans didn't do anything, I would have to talk about them also. But because black people don't vote for Republicans, they don't see themselves as being conservative. They see themselves as being needy to the Democratic Party. True story. Correct? I mean I'm only telling you the truth. Y'all know that as well as I do. Y'all know that as well as I do. But as long as that keeps going, we're going to stay in the same place that we're in now. But when we get to the point to where we can sit here and say that we need to start doing on our own, for our own, with our own. When we get to that point, and then we can branch out and start saying, come into the community. Come in. We've got the community. Because right now, there are people who are afraid to even go down Broadway. There's people that are afraid to even go down Penn and Fentanyl Alley. They decided, the Democratic Party decided, to spend $3 to $5 million on an Olympic-sized swimming pool, and black people ain't swimming. I've been over there at that place 3 or 4 times. I ain't seen a black person in that pool. But they built that state-of-the-art Olympic-sized nice facility pool over there, and we need a place for our young kids. We need to open up facilities for mental health in our community to deal with these here young kids. Hell, they just lost. The state of Minnesota lost a black kid. Well, they didn't lose him. He ran away. They had him. They didn't have a bed for this little kid who was in trouble. So they put this kid in a hotel room. When the supervisor or the sponsor or whoever you want to call her came that morning to relieve the other 24-hour sponsor that was there, they're paying to keep this kid, she left her keys out on the counter. The kid took the keys, got in the car, took off, headed to North Minneapolis. They found the vehicle in North Minneapolis with his bracelet. They didn't find the kid. They lost a kid in the state of Minnesota. Yes, they did. Look it up. Look it up. They said there's no way in the world that would ever happen. Rev, really? Look it up. Look it up. They did a whole news story on it. Oh, they type in Minnesota lost badass kid. Type that in there and see what happens. That kid needed help. That kid needed a way out of the situation that he was in. And we don't have facilities for those kids. Because that's not what the that's not how the Democrats look at it. That's not what they think. Don't worry about it. We'll just keep throwing money at you at these here failed organizations. Failed organizations. We'll just keep throwing money at them. Now kids are locked up or laying up under a sheet bleeding out on the streets. And I'm supposed to be okay with that. I'm not supposed to say anything. Y'all got the wrong one. You got the wrong one. Y'all know that, right? I'm just making sure. Anyway, hey, check this out. So, as you can see, I had my red one on a couple nights ago, but I got my black one tonight. I stand with Dexter Taylor. If you don't know who Dexter Taylor is a black man that the white liberals and the fiddlers of New York. And I know, okay, hold on. Let me back up because I just said something and I'm sure y'all was probably sitting there going, fiddler? What do you mean by fiddler, Rev? So if you ever watch Roots, or you can go to YouTube and type in Fiddler, and there's this character that was in Roots, and he was the main guy for the master. And so Fiddler was the one who made sure that all the slaves behaved. Okay, so anytime you hear me say Fiddler, that's the main gatekeeper of all the other slaves. Well, in New York, the white liberals have black fiddlers to make sure that, and they sick this one black judge on Dexter Taylor, all the way to the point where she told Dexter's lawyer that he could not fight the Second Amendment on the gun charge that they put on Dexter. Listen to what I just said. It's a gun, but they could not use the Second Amendment in the courtroom. Make it make sense. And they put Dexter away for 10 years. He's sitting. He could have took a plea deal. That's what they wanted him to do. That's what they thought he was going to do. But Dexter's like, no, I didn't do anything. So Dexter right now is sitting in a prison for 10 years. And we're doing everything we possibly can do here to get him out. Like I said, I have him on my show, on this show, every single Sunday. Dexter Call right from prison every Sunday. Well, when we can get it all together and everything. Sometimes things happen, but when we're all together, that we're talking to Dexter from his prison cell. So if you don't know who Dexter Taylor is, type it into your computer. That's what those computers are for you to do research. And they're just not here for you guys to come on my page and call me all types of names. But anyway, fam, hey, I've had fun with you. I appreciate you. If I missed something, I'll make sure I'll touch it on Wednesday. So I'm usually hanging out with you on Wednesday. And if you missed anything, you can now go to my YouTube channel. I'm happy about that. Trust me. When somebody who don't know anything about this here technology and all, I've got this big board here. I bought this thing I bought this when I was with a guy whom we was doing Black Minds Unchained. And I never really touched this thing to see, because it can do all types of stuff on this. I could do, I got this, that type stuff, and I can do all of this stuff with this thing, right? Anyway, but I'm not all that techie. But for me to think he'll get pardoned, well, Kelly, he can't get pardoned because it's state. So he can't. So, but what we can do is, check this out. So you know who Dana Loesch is? She interviewed Don Jr. and she put Dexter's name in his ear. So what we're hoping is Don Jr. go back to the big Donald and say, hey, Dad, here's the deal. We got a black man that they roped and put him on a tree. Can we do something to get him out? That's what we're hoping and praying that happens. And maybe somewhere during one of Donald Trump's speeches, Donald Trump will mention Dexter's name. It's Kelly. You know what? I'll hit you up. I'll get it to you. Because it's just Dexter Taylor. Should be able to just type in Dexter Taylor and his name will come up. Especially his get up on his New York stuff should come up, Kelly. Or you can go to at Future Radiocast, and that should be on there too. hashtag Dexter Taylor should be on there. Carbon Mike, that's another one, should be on there. So if you want to look that up. If not, what I'll do is I will put something out here on my page, Kelly, and you can bounce over there and grab it, and that should, yeah. So I'll have it over there for you, Kelly. And then we'll go from there. But anyway, fam, hey, I got to get off here because Don started his show tonight, and I definitely want to catch Don tonight and see what he's talking about over there. So that's my hour. I appreciate you all. Did I go over yet? Nope, didn't go over. I appreciate each and every one of you for coming and hanging out with me on tonight. And again, if somebody has something to say, if you want to talk about something, I am open. You can be right here alongside of me, and we can have a conversation. We can have a conversation, or if you disagree with me on something else too, you can be right here and say, "Hey, Rev, I totally disagree with you. And let's discuss it." That's what this is all about, right? I'm not like some of those big, I'm not like a Joe Rogan, and I wouldn't let some people like myself, which I consider myself to be a peasant, not come on and talk and have a conversation, and we can break bread and talk about things. And maybe I'll learn something from you and you'll learn something from me. Because a lot of times I hate talking to myself and just being the only one talk. So if someone wants to come and hang out, that door is open. And guess what? You'll be on YouTube now too. You can watch yourself on YouTube. So I appreciate you all. And we're going to end the night like we always end the night, realizing and understanding and see it and knowing that in our heart and in our soul that we have something bigger waiting for us. And understanding that that something bigger waiting for us wants us to be a part of everything that's going on with him. You were put here for a reason. And our reason, it wasn't just to run around and aggravate everybody. We were put here because God wants to see us prosper. He wants to see us bigger than what we are. He wants us to give him our hearts, mind, spirit, and soul. And no matter what you've done, and that's what a lot of people think sometimes, just because they've done things, they think God's not going to affect. I'm a living witness of that. I look, like I said, my life wasn't the way it is now. I can tell you right now, I tried to outdo the devil. And because we got a God that is so good all the time, and all the time God is good, he decided to overlook all my faults that I have and put me in positions that I never thought that I will be in. I never thought and God will do it for you. But here's the thing with this here. You have to give up your whole mind, your whole body, your whole spirit, and your whole soul. You have to give that over to him. And you have to believe that he let his one and only come down here, and for all your sins, not just for the sins that you tell him about, but even the sins that you don't tell him about. You have to believe that he died on a cross for your sins. You have to believe that they buried him in a borrowed tomb for your sins. And you got to believe that he got up with all power in his hand. You have to believe that. And if you believe that and see and understand and love him for who he is, God will do miracles in your life. I'm not telling you something that I think. I'm telling you what I know. It happened to Juan. That's why when things isn't going my way, that's why when rain clouds are coming this way, that's why when it's thundering and lightning, I still got a smile on my face. Because I know that trouble is only going to last for so long. And I realize now that God is walking through that valley of shadow of death with me. Because that's why I don't have to fear no evil. Because his rod and his staff always strengthens me. I say that to say this to you. And because of that, each and every one of you should have a smile on your face. And I say this here all the time. Take that smile somewhere and smile at somebody. So somebody smile back at you. Peace, fam. I thank you very much. Hey, I'll see you guys on Wednesday. We'll have something else to chat about. Again, thank you very much for hanging out with me. Y'all have a good night. I'm out. Peace.